What's good, everybody? This is Hans.
And this is Tristan.
Welcome to the Hans and Tristan podcast. I'm so sick of you. You left it there too. They're gonna see it. Whatever. Eddie, you did it on purpose. I feel like you do it on purpose.
They need to know what's going on behind the scenes.
Scenes. Thanks.
These
So
are bloopers, okay?
that made it onto the show. Anywho, guys, I'm sorry about that. We have a great show planned for you today. Tristan, I want to thank you on air for coming out to my birthday celebration and gathering. I appreciate you. It was a great time. Thank you for staying up past 7:00.
Listen, I didn't even take a nap that day, but your girl was looking good. Okay, I know it was your birthday, but your girl, the kid came out and showed out.
You did your thing. I appreciate you so much. For those who know Tristan, I know she ain't staying out late.
Listen,
for anybody, really. So the fact that she came through, stayed out with your boy, had a good time. Appreciate you so much. So definitely wanted to thank you on air for coming through and supporting me. So guys, we have a great show for you today. So the motivation or the launching pad for today's show is actually none other than Lamar Odom. So those who don't watch sports, aka Tristan, only know Lamar Odom because he was Kardashian. Yes, he was once married to Khloe Kardashian. I know him as a Laker forward who's very skilled and versatile with the ball. He was also a former Clipper, if I'm not mistaken, as well. But yeah, anywho.
I don't know about that. All I know is he was married to Khloe, okay? And him and Rob Kardashian were super cool. So that's all I know.
Yeah. So today I was on the way home and this radio personality was talking about his Lamar Odom's appearance on one of those shows, The Views. You know, I don't keep up with that stuff. But he was on there basically stating how he was hurt about his past failed relationship with Sabrina Parr, I believe is her name. But that's not what we're here to talk about. Celebrity gossip, I'm done with it. I walked in Tristan's shoes long enough. So
thank you for holding it down.
Hey, I try. I just need you to bring up sports topics now. So I don't want to dabble into that, their nasty breakup per se, but the radio personality did actually point out a pattern that was going on with Lamar. And he basically said that Lamar had a pattern of rushing into these long-term relationships with the women that he met. So with Sabrina, it was, I think, 3 months, and then he proposed. With Khloe, I think it was a little over a month, and then he proposed. So the radio personality was suggesting that maybe he needs to assess how quickly or doing something different when he, prepares to go into his next relationship and move on. So I thought that, you know what, this is an interesting topic to talk about. How long should we stay in each stage of dating, right? So how long do you need to be in a relationship before you pop the question or engage? And does that time change with age? Is it the same for a couple who's in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s? Is the requirement the same? And then last but not least, are males and females on the same page? Are they on the same time restrictions? Are they on the same rubric when it comes to time spent in a relationship before moving to the next level? So all these questions we're going to discuss today here on the Hans and Tristan podcast. But Tristan, let's first start with, how long do you feel is adequate enough to be in a relationship before one proposes?
1 year, 1 calendar year. You definitely have to be together at least 1 calendar year. I think it's highly important to be in that relationship because you see them in different phases, different seasons, and you have 365 days to actually see this person and how they function and if you can coexist with them. I think that's important to me. At minimum, 1 year.
So when you say with them, you mean with them in a capacity as a
in a relationship.
in a relationship. All right.
Right.
So
We ain't
not
talking
just
about
knowing them for a
talking. No,
year
no,
or
no, no.
talking.
Right, because like I said, it's different capacities and different components. Like I said, me and you, we hella cool, we friends. But I don't know what it's like to date you. You don't know what it's like to date me outside of my stupid ass stories I tell you, right? But those get explained anyway because I'm always gonna paint myself as the good guy.
Yeah,
But
you are.
the reality is you don't know someone until you've actually dated them, right? So you could be friends with someone, but dating them is drastically different. Like even I had many conversations with people and they're like, oh, well, he's hella cool. She's hella cool. You say that from a friendship perspective or a family perspective or a coworker's perspective. You don't say that because you never dated this person. So you don't know what it's like to actually date this person. And that to me, someone can be hella cool as a friend, but they could be a horrible companion. And that's like literally 90% of my exes. Hella cool. All of them hella cool. Horrible. Horrible.
With a hard H. That's a hard H.
Listen, horrible companions. Okay. So it gets to a point where it's like being mindful of different people and how they function in different capacities and being real with that and understanding that again, yeah, you can rush into something all day long because sometimes we be so hell bent on what we want that we're ignoring a lot of things. And I tell people all the time, do you want the relationship or do you want that individual? Because those are two different things.
They are. That is so true. That is so true because I actually was thinking something along that lines. As I was in the car, the radio person I was saying, when he saw his wife, he saw her walking down the street and he said to himself, yeah, like, I think she's going to be my wife, but he didn't pursue her that quickly to that extent. And to me, that showed the wisdom to know like the difference between me wanting that person versus me wanting this relationship or this type of relationship, because those two are not the same. So I love that you brought that up because that to me is a distinction that I don't think we often make when we jump into these relationships. Am I really just pursuing this person or am I really trying to make this relationship happen? Because those two are not necessarily the same thing at all.
At all, and understanding that it makes a massive difference, right? So you get to that point when you're dating someone and you realizing they're not trying to build. When you want a relationship and you want a future with someone, you plan and you build. When you just I just want to kick it with the person, like, and you like them for the moment, you're not thinking about future. So you can tell when you're with someone at the end of the day, if you genuinely like how this is going to turn out and how this is going to advance.
Right.
But I think as people, we need to be mindful of that. And I also think like some people got to be real with themselves is like, am I just a relationship person or am I cool with being single? Everyone's not cool with being single. And they are relationship people. But then you got to get to the point where it's like, okay, but that doesn't mean I have to settle for anything that comes my way.
That's true as well too. I do agree. And one thing I do want to mention, circle back just a little bit, is that's why I have, when you're talking about the difference between wanting a person and wanting a relationship with someone, that's why I have trouble with this narrative of men being hunters. I really have a lot of trouble with that because I never saw myself with that, because then what I'm doing is objectifying this woman as just a trophy. And to me, it breeds that whole I get bored and your eyes start to wander in different places because I've acquired you now, right? Since you're this prize, right? If I'm to hunt you and treat you that way, and I've acquired you, and that's it. You get what I mean? Like on to the next one, if that's the thrill, when really we should definitely, when we're talking and dating, especially to our younger, listeners and younger generation and kids that we work with, I think we should really focus on the building and relationship. Is this person relationship material? Is this person relationship worthy?
Listen,
because
okay.
those are two. Because listen, I'm not gonna lie, and Tristan, you notice this a pretty face every day.
I mean, it ain't pretty as this, but
oh Lord.
Listen, y'all didn't see me on Saturday. I was looking cute.
Listen, she was out there.
But what I'm saying is I agree. And I think even in the terms of saying men are hunters is not necessarily, because I know I make that comment and I made that comment many a times. And I say that in regards to the fact that is as a woman, I'm not going to pursue a man. I'm not going to court a man, because when a man wants you and genuinely wants you, he's going to let it be known that he wants you through his actions. And I think sometimes, and again, I use that term because sometimes women misconstrue, just because he like you, baby, don't mean he wants you. And a
Right.
man could be attracted to you all day long, but that doesn't mean, yeah, he's attracted to you and what? But he doesn't deserve you.
But courting and hunting are not the same.
Right, but I'm just saying I use that terminology in
Mm-hmm.
regards to, like, I'm not gonna be sliding no DMs. I'm not shooting my shot, motherfucker. If you want me, come get me.
Right. Because hunting is what you do at the club. Okay. Hunting is what you do at the club. You know, you going there. You're not going to the, let's be real. Okay. I didn't frequent the clubs a lot, but I frequented them enough to know you ain't going to the club to get a relationship. That's not why dudes go to the club to find a girlfriend. No, you're going to hunt. You're going to find something or someone to occupy your time, to have a good time with, maybe go home and you get what I'm saying, do what you do. That's what you're going for in the club. Okay. That's to me, that's the atmosphere I think about when you're hunting. Courting, that's different. Courting is when you're taking the time out to really get to know the person, know their interests, to see if you guys are compatible. And one thing which I love that you always say when we talk about relationships, you're seeing them in different environments.
Absolutely. You got to see people in different environments because, and this is why I hate the Netflix and chill shit, right? First of all, before I get in, I want my man to hunt me and court me because I like me a motherfucker. Just pick me up, throw me over your shoulder,
You
baby.
like
Like,
the
let's do it.
aggression. That's
Yeah.
you
Listen,
like the
you gonna hunt
aggression. Go
me
ahead.
even when we 30 years in. You better hunt me, okay? But whatever. But I hate the Netflix and chill situation because like you're in your own environment, right? Where you can create a certain dynamic and you can create a certain illusion. You don't have certain stimulus because you control everything around here. But when you're out in the actual real world and you're going on a date and something happens or whatever, you're driving, something happens, you can see how that person responds and reacts because they can't control everything around them when you're out in the real world. That's why I always encourage go out, go date, see them in different environments, see how they respond to the waitress, see how they respond to people driving, and things like that, because that's a telltale sign. It's not just about spending time with this person, but again, seeing how this person responds to different things. Because what I won't do is be out with somebody and you embarrassing me and shit. No, because I will leave your ass.
Right. No, I do agree. For me, I think next, I'm not opposed to Netflix and chilling, just not early on. So that to me is something you do when you're more seasoned, when you're deeper in the relationship and you kind of have an
Right.
understanding of who they are and where they're at, then you can kind of do that. But yeah, I definitely agree. I think Netflix and chilling in the beginning, you might want to kind of see where they're at and, and kind of diversify your dating kind of moves just so you can kind of get the full spectrum because humans, like you said, we're not the same. We are at work with our friends, with our homeboys. You want to see the different sides and get the full spectrum of who you're dealing with and possibly dating because you should be looking to see what this person would possibly be like in a relationship.
But the thing
Not
is,
just
here's the thing, Hans. Do you not know when you see somebody where you kind of place them, like the first week of talking to them? Where
yeah, you have
see,
an idea.
so this is what I do, right? I'm like, you got the fun time Freddies and you got your settle down Sams, right? They
Mm-hmm.
not the same.
No, not at all.
Your fun time Freddies is more like a Idris album, right? You go, yeah, fun, the motherfucker look good. You frolic the streets with the nigga and all that good shit. You don't settle down. You don't settle down with Idris album. Settle down Sam is more like a Barack Obama, you know?
Mm.
Like he still look good, but he's stable, financial. Y'all have a good time and everything else. Like it's just different kind of dudes. Future, fun time Freddy. He a fun time Freddy all day long. Why are you letting a fun time Freddy impregnate you? What are we doing here? What are we doing? Why are we doing this? So understanding that you got to know where these people lie in the categories we got to put them in. But we know that early on. When I first meet a nigga, I'm like, yeah, I'll never have sex with you.
No, and I agree. I agree. I think you kind of get a general idea, but the reason you date and you continue to have interactions is to either confirm or deny that general instinct that you have about a person. Because let's be real, first impressions do matter. They do matter. And they play a big part of what kind of interaction you think you're going to continue to have with this person. So, no, I do agree. But I think dating, though, kind of either confirms or denies your initial reaction. Because I've had it go both ways. I've had one girl like back in the day I was talking to, and I was like, yo, this ain't going nowhere. Like, this ain't happening. But then talking more, I was like, oh, okay, you was having a bad day. Like this wasn't it for you. You actually might be, and then there's the other ones where it's like, yeah,
Nah,
you
as I get
confirmed it.
older,
You
I'm just
confirmed it.
like, eh. But it has been times where I'm like, okay, fun time Freddie can kind of migrate over to,
But
maybe Martin.
I think with you though, it's when you get older, there are certain okay, so when you're younger, there are certain things you're willing to overlook. When you get
Facts.
older, you become more rigid with your boundaries. And you
Listen,
see this, and you're not even dealing, you're not trying to look for any rationalizations, any excuses. Nah. Like I know for you, if you were chilling with this dude and you see like he yelled at his mama or he yelled at his dog, you get what I'm saying? Like you're gonna be like, all right, we're done. So
absolutely. What you yelling for? Like, no. What's the problem? No.
exactly. Or he yelled at you, like it's all right.
First of all, who the fuck you talking to? Who is you talking to?
Exactly.
But yeah, no, it's
Exactly.
certain things where you're just like, yeah, nah, I'm good. And for me, it's not even, some characteristic things, but it's also about lifestyles, right? So I see certain people and I see how their lifestyle is, like even their eating habits and shit like that. And I'm just like, nah, that's not gonna work, player. That's not gonna work because that doesn't fit with. And granted, you know me, I go all day and not eat or whatever. And that's something I need to work on. I know. But at the end of the day, I'm also not around eating chicken wings and drinking Hennessy all goddamn day. So to me, I'm just like our lifestyles aren't in sync. And I think a lot of people need to realize those things when they're dating and courting. But it gets to a point where we have to be real with ourselves in understanding where we are. Like for me, if I'm like even talking to someone beyond 6 months and you're not asking to be in a relationship with me, then nigga, clearly you don't want me.
At least not in the same capacity.
Right. Like you don't want to settle down with me, which is cool, right? But don't be mad when the rotation shifts and you no longer at the top. You done rotated to number 3 and number 4, and I ain't got the same time for you because you're no longer my main nigga because you're not serious. So now that I had to rotate you down and demote you because you ain't serious and you don't want to, you just want to play. I'm too old to play. I'm pushing 40.
Which brings me to my next question. Is this year minimum for you before proposing the same across all age bands?
Absolutely.
So is this the same for 20-year-olds, 30, 40s, 50s?
I agree.
Because
I think it is.
Because we've seen that statistically speaking, couples that date older tend to get married sooner.
Cause they ain't got the time. They like, look, TikTok, motherfucker. Like they used to say that Samuel L. Jackson, TikTok, motherfucker. Is you is or is you ain't. Like ain't nobody got time for this. So I understand that as you get older, one, the options are a lot slimmer, right? So if you find someone like after 50, you find a motherfucker you actually enjoy kicking around with, and they don't get on your fucking nerves that much, by all means, you know what I'm saying? And then understanding that, like you said, options are slimmer. Let's be real, time is limited, So these are things are all factors that we consider as we get older. But then on the flip side, let's be real about the divorce rate with older generations too.
Yeah.
That's still a thing. Divorce rate isn't just for the young people who get married in 20s and 30s, it's for older people too. And going through that dynamic. So I know me, like I feel like I will have an ex-husband at some point, but I just want him to be lit. I'm just saying I need one for my memoirs, okay? I need
You're
one
looking for your future ex-husband.
Right, but I need my ex-husband to be lit. I told you I've been proposed to twice, and I was just like, I'm good. Thanks anyway.
You said no?
I said no later because they proposed
in person, in front of people.
Don't put me in no trick bag. I don't like that.
Hey man, that's the best way to do it. If you're trying to get a sure yes, have everybody, have all her friends. What's she gonna say? No. Listen, that's how you gotta do it.
Don't do that because you knew that both of the proposals were coming because these motherfuckers knew that I was ending the relationship.
Oh, so it's kind of like a last-ditch effort to make sure
it was a Hail Mary. Exactly.
Hey, man, you got to throw that, man. You got to throw that.
Listen, no. You knew you fucked up, okay?
Question. Did you give the ring back?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. I wasn't expecting that.
I wasn't expecting that. And you know me. I get all my goodies while in the relationship. I get all my gifts while in the relationship. So yeah, I'm gonna give. If I say no, I'm gonna give the ring back. Now, if I say yes and we continue on with the engagement and you fuck up, I'm keeping the ring.
Oh,
But if I say, if a woman says no, she is obligated to get that ring back. And if she keeps the
okay.
ring, she's a money grubbing bitch.
Okay. But if she says yes and he cheats or something like that, he
Keep the
messes
ring.
up,
I'm
you
keeping the
keep the
ring.
ring.
I am keeping the. I don't give a fuck if your meemaw gave it to you. I don't give a fuck if it's a family heirloom. You shouldn't have cheated. I'm keeping the shit. And if your nan got a problem with it, tell her come see about me.
You gonna fight Nana? Man,
Listen,
see.
let me tell you something.
Y'all DC chicks built different,
Let me
boy.
tell you something,
See?
Sam. One thing I learned, niggas love their grandma, bruh. They
That's
love their
Nana. What you
grandma.
mean?
So hurt me, Nana gonna catch these hands, partner.
Wow.
Like, nah, I'm playing. I would never fight an elderly woman.
You're lying. But anywho. Let a grandma try you at the supermarket. Boy, it's going down.
I wouldn't fight
Already.
her, but I damn sure stiff arm her ass like a mother. Girl, if you don't
You
get
knock
your
her
ass,
over, you
but like, lady, I will take the batteries out of your goddamn little go-kart. Stop playing with me.
I'm so sick of you.
But no, I think we have to be more mindful of relationships and also understanding that sometimes people get so caught up on the wedding as opposed to the actual marriage.
Mm-hmm.
You have to live with
That
this person. Like, why?
listen.
What is your reasoning for being with this person? And is it this person you want, or is it just you want somebody? Like my father, he's on his third wife. Dude, what? Like,
Yeah, and honestly, it's a easy trap to fall into because that's what's glorified, the wedding, right? And all the extra festivities that come around it. And honestly, the status symbol, because people don't understand that or acknowledge that comes with a status symbol too, the wedding and the marriage. But they forget that that's only one day, one night. That's an event that literally comes
listen,
and
and
goes.
all them people in the audience ain't gonna be there, player.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just
it's
you and
not.
your partner.
It's not. But also though, I don't so holistically speaking and altruistically speaking, we would love to have everybody get married for love, and all of that. But realistically, we know people get married for different reasons. I would say, word of caution is to make sure that you guys are getting married for the same reason. So if
There
you
you
know
go.
it's
A green
for,
card. It's okay
yeah,
if you
or
get married for a green card, as long as the
it's
understanding is understood.
exactly. If it's fiscally beneficial for you guys to get married, as long as you guys are on the same page as to
That's
how this marriage is going to be found, like the foundation of this marriage, if you guys are in agreement with that, more power to you.
and I
The
think
trouble comes
that's
in.
it.
The trouble comes in is when you guys are not on the same page and you
And
don't have
everyone
those
got hidden
conversations.
agendas and shit.
Exactly.
No,
Exactly.
and that's 1,000% real. It's like if you're not on the same page of how you want the relationship to go, as well as what you're getting in the relationship for, then it's gonna be a massive problem. And then in and of itself, like I said, the functionality, the day-to-day functionality of the relationship, like you got to be clear about, okay, so how is this gonna function? What is this gonna look like? Because for me, I'm like, you know me, I love a long distance. If I don't love shit, I love a long distance relationship. That's my jammy
You
motherfucking jam
you and
right
your
there.
autonomous boy.
I
Ugh.
know I'm just realizing now I'm super autonomous, but you know me, I always have a motherfucker that's out of town. Like I love me a long distance. Cause guess what? I ain't gotta see you every day. You ain't on my motherfucking back. Like, what the hell? I can deal with you. We can FaceTime and shit and all this other stuff. And I see you once a month, every other month, whatever the case may be. But a motherfucker who wants to see me every day, that's why I don't date locals. Why you
Too
want to
much
see
for
me
y'all.
every day? I look the same way I looked yesterday. Fuck you want to see me for? Like, no. So understanding that, Tristan can date a trucker. Tristan can date a motherfucker in the league. Tristan can date a rapper. Because guess what? They're going to be on motherfucking road. And Tristan going to be right up in the motherfucking house chilling.
So what you gonna do when they retire? Break up with them?
You know, I'm like, damn, nigga, you here?
I don't think this working out.
You don't want me a commentator or something for ESPN? You don't want,
Oh
damn, why
man.
here? Oh my God. Like, no, we gotta get a house big enough where I can't
Tristan,
see you every day.
you need to start learning to share your space, man. That's your problem. You need to share your space. It's been you and Genesis too long. And
And
you
it's
know, she a
even
teenager.
her,
She ain't want nothing to
right?
do with you. So you already know where she at.
Listen,
She want her own
listen.
space, her own everything.
Even if the
Start learning
dogs
to
lay
share
up
your
on me a
space.
little too long, I'm like, ah.
Don't do
I
my boy Hendrix like that. Don't do him.
Hendrix more autonomous than me. He be like, y'all making too much noise. I'm going upstairs. Like, but I think understanding who you are as a person,
Mm-hmm.
and because I'm gonna tell you on the flip side, when I got a motherfucker, I'm motherfucking got my nose wide open and I'm head over heels. I'm on that nigga back like a book bag. Where we at? Where we
Mm-hmm.
going? What we doing? Where you at? Where you
What we
come
doing?
home?
What we doing?
Right? I be like, okay, so what time you gonna be here? All right, bet. Like, so I know on the flip side, when it's someone I'm really like, then I know how to at least be midpointing and kind of, be affectionate and give that attention. But I don't want Eric.
Yeah, but you know what though? That's why I think it's great that you gave the 1 year minimum, because that's what you figure out. You start to see where they're at, their temperament, how clingy or not or autonomous they are. You start to see, and if that works for you. But the key too though is starting to have that merging mindset. So today to think about, okay, can this come together and can it work? Because you pointed out a wonderful, wonderful dynamic that people don't think about: lifestyles, right? So if you're used to, which Tristan, she'll make a move real quick. I'm like, whoa, you're in DC? Yeah, you were just here
Listen,
yesterday. So like, you'll jump in your car and you'll go real quick and we'll think about it. And your house is acclimated to that, right? So it would not make sense for you to be with somebody who's always, stationary, who doesn't make moves, who's stuck here and doesn't do that. It wouldn't make sense. So understanding, right, the merging of the lifestyle, and also understanding like the type of relationship you're wanting. Because if you're wanting that clingy kind of person, then that may not be what you have right there.
see, and that's the thing is
So
like I want someone to sweat me, but like I need don't suffocate me. Like I'm gonna sweat my nigga all day long. Like, damn, you looking good, right?
mhm.
But I'm not the suffocating kind of chick, right? So I'm like, yo, you got the freedom to do it and come and go as you please. But if I find out you cheating, nigga, that's on you, and we done. Like,
Right.
simple. I'm not gonna be on your back like that. Like, you a grown ass man, I'm a grown ass woman, right? But I feel like certain things need to be put in place as far as respecting and having healthy boundaries. And I had that conversation with one of my exes. Just understanding, like, yeah, I got a baby father, you got a baby mother. But I feel like after 10 p.m., should no motherfucker be calling about a goddamn thing because ain't shit popping off because the kids are all asleep and shit. Like, what did you talking about? Unless it's an emergency. Like,
Emergency,
why?
that's it.
Right? Why are you calling motherfucker after 10 and shit, knowing like you cock blocking at this point? I got a problem. I don't like it. So I feel like certain boundaries do need to be put in place, and like I said, understanding need to be understood. But I like your lifestyle definitely have to be in sync for you and that individual. And I think many people try to conform their marriage or their relationship to what they perceive it should be, as
Hmm.
opposed to what they want it to be.
Facts. Facts. Yeah, you have to control that. It reminds me of what you're talking about, the wedding, right? Oftentimes you get caught up in the whole hoopla of a wedding and you try to conform to traditions of what elder people in your family say a wedding should be. And you forget that, whoa, this is for us. We should make it what we want it to be rather than what we feel other people should be, just like your marriage or relationship. It should be what you want it to be. If you guys are okay with getting married for such and such reasons, and this is what our relationship is going to look like, then rock
Knock
out if
yourself
that's what
out.
works for you.
Knock yourself
Um,
out.
but this brings me to our one of our last points is that we've seen that with these celebrities, right, when they get into this relationship, it seems to be moving at like warp speed. It's like full steam ahead. Forget about everything, and it also makes me wonder: do they have a just misunderstanding of what love and relationship is? And I just want to just take time to talk about the difference between levels of attraction, because I think that's something that we just mesh all into one big ball of confusion and never really take time to tease out, to separate, to define, so people really understand how that
I
works.
hate it because I've had so many men is like, oh, I like you. You don't like me. You're attracted to me. You don't
Mm-hmm.
know me. And it's motherfuckers who will date you for a whole year and won't even care to get to know you.
Facts. So one thing I will start with is that, right? So being attracted to someone is definitely, I understand it. It's one of the first senses, right? Because you see it with your eyes. That's the first sense. You typically see someone. Well, with the age of COVID now, do you see someone before you talk to them? Who knows, right? So
You see
who
their
knows what
eyes
happened?
like this.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, do you really get to see all of them? You just see their eyes. You you kind of have to carry a picture. Say, this is what I really look like. Just to let you know, right here. Just
Listen,
I don't know. Show ID when you talk. I don't know how that works. Now it's COVID. I'm out the game. I'm retired. So, so I understand. But just because you're attracted to somebody does not warrant, or in my opinion, not enough to warrant a relationship. Those two are not the same. Attraction and relationship, they're not cause and effect
at all.
at all. You
At
can be
all.
attracted to somebody and not be a good fit or not think it's a good idea to go into a relationship. I believe that if all you have moving forward is just your level of attraction, that should be a red flag. If
Absolutely. And
all you
here,
can say about that person is, yo,
they
they're
fine as
hot.
fuck. Yeah. And here's the kicker, right? You can be in a relationship with someone. You can actually like and be attracted to them. Hell, you can love someone, right? But that
Mm-hmm.
does not mean you can coexist with that person.
Mm-hmm.
And understanding the difference. And I think sometimes we get so hell bent, like I said, on wanting this person so much that we force shit that shouldn't be forced.
Right. No, I agree. And then understanding the roles that these different components play in a relationship, right? So I believe there has to be some level of attraction, but it's levels. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Levels of attraction. And then when we get into the world of the complex nature of love, that's a whole nother caveat, right? So love, there's some attraction in there too, but there's higher levels of commitment,
Right.
and
Right.
there's higher level of deliberate action in love. You get what I'm saying?
Right. Because love is
Because
an
if we're
action word.
exactly, because if we're honest, right, attraction, it waxes and it wanes throughout the
That's
relationship.
how I know I'm not ready for a relationship. Because if you ain't got muscles, what we talking about?
It waxes and it wanes. It waxes and it wanes. Even when you get somebody with muscles, you're gonna get used to them muscles. You're like, dang,
Then you better
how
get
come
some
you ain't
new
get?
muscles.
That's what I say. You ain't got no extra muscles, like
Where your backup muscles at?
exactly.
Oh
Like,
my
yeah, you got them shoulder
God.
muscles, but I need the neck ones. Like, where you don't got that?
Right. You coming with them same old ass muscles. I done seen the muscles already. Get some
All
new
right, why
ones.
didn't I getting bigger? So you're gonna get used to that. That's what happens. So there's levels to it. When you start to get deep in a relationship, you start to explore, what it means to merge this person with you in their lives. Love is something totally different than just attraction. Attraction and love are not the same. You could be attracted to somebody all day, don't mean you love them at
Absolutely.
all. And love, like you
Absolutely.
said, is an action word. It is a daily decision. It
And
is a
I
decision,
listen,
a
because you
decision,
even when you don't
informed.
like that motherfucker, you still love them, and that is what you do for them, right? You still do and follow through and do your part to maintain your part,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of the fact. And I think that's something that people realize, and also misconstruing lust for intimacy.
Yes,
Those
not
are
the
totally
same.
different. Listen, you can fuck somebody all day long, and y'all have the most shallowest goddamn interactions and relationships. They are
Mm-hmm.
not one and the same, and I think people misconstrue that shit all day long. Like, no, just because the motherfucker is in between your legs, don't mean you know him.
Exactly. No,
Don't
that's.
mean y'all
I'm not
intimate.
gonna not gonna lie. Was it last week? Last week or the week before? My wife and I, we stayed up in bed and we were just talking for like an hour or so, and it was just real intimate conversation. Like no sex or nothing happened, but I'm just like deep conversation, just talking about it and vulnerable, just having that conversation. And that's a level of conversation that I can honestly say I'm not gonna have with anybody else. You get what I
Absolutely, and
mean?
you
That's a
shouldn't.
level. That's a level of intimacy that I share with just her, and it means a lot, and it furthers our relationship. But it goes to show, no sex happened, but that was a lot of intimacy that happened in that
And
room
I
that
think
night.
again, people misconstrue those things, right? So understanding that if you can't be vulnerable and open and trust this person with your words and your feelings, y'all don't have any intimacy. There is none there. It's just y'all just motherfucking be up in each other's faces and shit. And I know for me, like I know I've been guilty of that, right? Where I will interact with someone, but I'm so closed off. Cause I'm just like, I know I'm not feeling you. Like you cool to have fun with and to kick it with, right? But at the end of the day, like I have no, like I don't want to build and bond with you. Like I don't want to grow with you. So I'm not gonna open up to you. And a lot of like that's been a lot of issues. You know, I'm just like, but no, like I know who I want to be comfortable with. I know who I want to build a bond with. It ain't you, and it's okay. Like you're like, it's okay. I've been not the chosen one many a times.
It happens to everybody. Okay. It happens to everybody. Well, guys, in summation, right, to close all of this and
the show. Big vocabulary words.
I am in summation. Right. So when you're thinking about moving into these different stages of relationship, please take the time out to really assess if you and this person are right in relationship terms, right? So like Tristan said before, are you going for the person or are you really striving and building for this relationship? And then as you get into that world and you get to where you're proposing and, you know, you're planning a life together, understanding that you're merging two lives together, and hope that, make sure that you guys are on the same page in regards to what you want for the relationship, where you want it to go, and how you guys want to function in that relationship with one another. Because if you're not on the same page with those three things, you're really starting off on a bad foot. Now, granted, we said a year. Of course, we know it changes for everybody, but what we really mean for that year, what's supposed to happen in that year is you're supposed to see your partner in a different light in so many different areas to see if they're an adequate mate or if there's somebody you can function in a relationship with. So understand yourself and how you work too, because if you know you move quick, you might need to slow down a little bit. You get what I'm saying? And understand the levels, the differences, between attraction, infatuation, love, lust, and how that all plays together as well.
Yep.
But guys, we appreciate you guys for joining us. We love it. You can always listen to the Hans and Tristan podcast wherever podcasts are heard and distributed, your iTunes, your Spotify, your Stitcher, Outcast, wherever you go to download and stream your podcast, you can listen to the Hans and Tristan podcast. Also, hit us up on our IG page. It's the Hans and Tristan podcast, IG, subscribe, like, comment, hit us up on there. And last but not least, we're on YouTube, guys. You can go to YouTube. The page is called the Hans and Tristan podcast. Go on there, look at our videos, see our pretty faces and our wonderful smiles. You get the same content. We appreciate you guys so much for joining us. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.